Good morning, Nashville. Weekend Huddle broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Fun show this morning. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this not as icy Saturday as it was last week. Still some power outages in the area. I know in the area we are, there's obviously some power outages going on. Fortunately, we have power, so we're on the air. But if you are affected by this, please don't hesitate to reach out, talk this out. It's kind of a traumatic experience, to be honest with you. I struggled with it for a few days as well, and I'm still recovering from it. So
still recovering as well.
Are you still out?
Yeah, still without power, day 6.
But you're MacGyver, so it's okay.
Yeah, that is true. I will say, can I just add on to this whole power outage thing right now?
Please do.
So currently at my house, I do not have the power of everyone else in my neighborhood. Just putting that out there. But didn't know this.
Are you about to go after NES live on air?
Maybe.
Yes.
NES, I don't know if people know this or not. If you have power outages, it's more of informative information, not a dig at anybody. If you have some power issues, if you have a down power line, make sure that your transformer is being, sent information to NES, because the one that's in my neighborhood, especially in my backyard or front yard or wherever it is, it's not being registered for NES to know that it's on their system. So if you have a power transformer that's connected to another house and your line is down, but theirs is not, when they turn the grid back on, it doesn't register for their transformer. So
now, is your transformer an Autobot or a Decepticon?
Good joke there.
I
love that.
Good one.
Starting the day off hot.
Yes, I am.
But no, just for people out there, if you have a down line and your neighbors have power, but you don't, just continue to reach out to people. And people as in the NES department and also others that are involved with the situation, because I'm sure their technology is not registering that. So just wanted to put out some information on that. I know our owner, Bud Walters, loves for us to inform, and I felt like this is some information that's being missed and overlooked because there's a lot of people that are still without power.
Yeah.
And being one of those, I just felt like it'd be the opportunity to do so. And if you are also still without power, Geodis Park is open this weekend. They're open today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for all Nashvillians and Middle Tennessee families and residents who continue facing challenges. Brought to you by the Winter Storm. Pizza will be provided from 12 to 1, and family-friendly games and activities will take place throughout the day. Free parking will be available in lots 9 and 10. With the entrance to the stadium taking place at Geodis Parks, the Gold Post Club. So Nashville SC is all in on this as well. And
it's nice to see the city just kind of unite around them. Bridgestone Arena was open yesterday.
Yep.
I don't think it's open today, but Geodis Park is open today.
And tomorrow.
So get out there, get warm, get some food, charge yourself up. I know that was probably the hardest part, was not being able to charge up. I had to go sit in my car a lot, which was actually surprisingly nice. You got the heat, you got just quiet,
warm seats.
I was listening to you guys. It was nice, especially at 9 to 12 in the morning, because it was mostly you and Jake Lyman.
It's your number one drive time right there, folks.
It is. It's America's fastest rising program.
And Saturday's drive time is the Weekend Huddle.
Saturday is all day drive time, and today is kind of a coping day for me. We're kind of getting our preview to adjusting to life without football. Well, we've got one more game left in the season with the Super Bowl next week, and I don't consider the Pro Bowl real football. I won't even watch it because I think it's awful, and it's, just a sorry excuse for a quote-unquote all-star game, which I think just needs to be gotten rid of completely across all sports. But regardless, this is our first real weekend without football, aside from next weekend, which is the Super Bowl. So, we got the Royal Rumble today, so I'm excited about that. And I made some good stuff and proved some people wrong on that. So that's all I'll say about that. But I'm excited for that. We got college basketball today. We've got Preds in action today in Long Island to take on the New York Islanders. And boy, they need this one bad. We'll talk about that later. But of course, the news dominating the week was Robert Saleh and the press conference that he had there. So we'll talk about that as well. But how are you dealing with life without football? It's just kind of tough for me, because it's a whole dedication you have from the beginning of August all the way to almost February, and it just feels empty without it. It's like that 3 Doors Down song, Here Without You. which I hope is played at some point today. It's just sad. I just feel empty.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a big basketball fan or if you're not a big baseball fan, there are other sports out there that kind of, for me, supplement the loss of NFL in the offseason.
Rugby, baby.
You know where I go with this. It's the NRL rugby, but also you have your rugby sevens, the World Cup of that. That's going on today through Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Obviously, I like college baseball.
I'm very excited for college baseball.
Yeah. This year, I think it's wide open.
Mhm.
Definitely in the SEC.
Definitely in the SEC. I mean, Tennessee, I think, is going to be good. LSU is going to be good. They're taking a step back, but they're going to be good. Mississippi State will be good.
Yep.
They've added some pieces there as well as retained a lot. So is Kentucky. So I think the SEC in baseball is wide open. And I mean, we got plenty of time to talk about that. But I'm excited for college basketball. Or I'm not excited for college basketball.
College baseball.
It's been miserable for me. But college baseball, I'm very excited for.
Yeah. And you also have professional darts, the Premier League darts. So it's not like your tournaments that you go individually. It's your, actual league play.
Me personally, I've been locked in on the Major League Duck Goose League. I think that's rather riveting.
Don't forget about your timber sports, by the way.
Timber sports.
Yeah.
When does the Ocho come on? That's usually in the summer, right?
Yeah, they do it seasonally. I think they do it like once every season, like once in the spring, once in the fall, once in the summer.
I was about to say, I feel like it's kind of year round almost at this point.
I need slippery stairs in my life right now.
No, have you ever watched timber sports?
Yeah, where they chop wood.
Yeah, they like saw down the wood studs. I think that's genius of a sport.
I mean, my favorite obscure sport is definitely slippery stairs, but there's this one that they play. It's called like Ultra Ball or something like that. And I quite honestly don't understand how it works, but it's so like really intricate that you end up just being glued to the screen. I can't explain the game to you, but something like that.
I think the one they added to the Ocho was tag. And they're like, they're in a jungle gym of bars, and they're basically parkouring everywhere in this glass box.
The Watt brothers used to have a show, I think it was on NBC, of that. It was like called Ultimate Tag or something.
Yeah.
It was like these former American Ninja Warrior athletes playing tag.
It is quite literally just on an adult playground.
It
too.
is.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
And I would love to play on it.
Can we bring back BattleBots?
BattleBots was
Dude,
awesome.
BattleBots are sick.
BattleBots was awesome.
That's where it's at, man.
I think it's still on, but it's not like it was like a national spectacle when it first came out. It was on ABC.
Did you guys ever have the Beyblades?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys ever?
Oh, I was a huge Beyblade
You ever
guy.
put,
I watched
like-
the show and everything.
You ever like douse them in gasoline and then just put them in a little like
No.
box?
No, can't say.
Because they all like spark
Wow.
in flames.
Didn't quite do that.
Wow, that was possible. I could have done that.
Yeah, well, like you could spark it up into flames and it made everything just more exciting.
That sounds awesome.
See,
Why did we not do this?
I had some friends that did that and I spectated, but I've never participated.
See, I didn't watch the show because I couldn't get into the whole Japanese anime kind of
It's
stuff.
the only thing even close to anime I've ever watched in my life was Beyblade back in the day.
Yeah.
Never watched it. I just knew there were the little toys you could rip and
Honestly,
that
if
stuff.
it wasn't on Cartoon Network that easy to watch, I probably never would have. But
Oh, good old cartoon. I mean, we're going down nostalgia lane right now.
yes, we are.
We've been watching. Do you remember the old show Ninjago? That Lego
I've
show?
heard of that. Yes.
It's like 15 years old now, and that was peak nostalgia for children my age. So I've been re-locked in on that, just kind of as a nostalgia throw in the back. Man, it takes me so back.
As soon as Connor told me that was on Netflix, I was like, "That's awesome!" And we've both been just rewatching
locked
it. Like
in.
we've been binging it like it's a. I mean, it is a real show.
I'm almost
but you know
done
what
with
I mean.
season 1.
I will say the last thing I have about the whole power outage thing, with the whole week of watching antenna television, there are some channels on there that I wish were cable television, like the MeTV obviously is on cable
Oh, MeTV's
television.
great.
But there's a MeTV Plus and a MeTV Tunes. So you get like the old school cartoons of Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes. I'm like, this is where it's at.
That's what what was it called?
And then they had Sanford and Son on MeTV Plus, which I was pretty pumped
Chris
about.
Tremendous show.
Chris
Yeah.
Sanders would be so happy. What was that old Cartoon Network owned station that used to play all these old cartoons?
Oh, Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Yeah.
Boomerang. We used to watch Boomerang all the time.
We never got that in the Nashville market, but out
Right.
in East Tennessee, my aunt and uncle had it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah, I know. It was
Had the Jetsons.
yeah, the Flintstones, and all. And then it had like this is my nerditude showing. Had the original Teen Titans show, which is fantastic. it was good stuff. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have thoughts on just about anything at this point. That was a pretty wide open segment, but I like to keep those things open just to get our feet on the ground. We're going to talk about a lot today. The Titans have had their press conference with Robert Saleh. I'm curious on the overall outlook on that press conference. And I told Jake this yesterday. It's pretty much 99% impossible to lose an introductory press conference unless you're Adam Gase. So, but I want to get into the overall development. What does the outlook of this hire and the staff look like? We'll get to that coming up throughout the show. 9:45, I'll take over the program, and I've got a steamy rant for you with Newt's Notes. We'll put out the weekend poll here momentarily. Truth be told, I forgot to do it, but someone asked me a question yesterday, and I've been thinking about it all day. Are you familiar with, the Titans are marking down their jerseys and their current merchandise?
Oh yeah, the whole store.
The whole store. It makes us all think they're going to rebrand. So there are some mock-ups that are on Twitter, and I had a whole rant about this yesterday. One is better than the other. So I'll post both of them on Twitter, and I'll just see what's the field there. What do people prefer? One of them is basically the flaming thumbtack without the flame, which I do not like, and the other one is the sword. So I'll put those out there. Which one is better? We'll talk a little bit of Preds today, and then, of course, we'll finish with where are they now. But coming up next, we'll get into the Tennessee Titans hire of Robert Saleh. I want to ask the question, how much of a factor will the Saleh staff play into the development, not just of Cam Ward, but of the entire team? We'll get to that coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game.
Um, that's always a good question. Obviously every team wants to win a Super Bowl. Every team wants to achieve the pinnacle of sports. That everybody does. But the realistic expectation is that this team understands what proper process looks like. Attacking every moment, attacking every day, finding ways to get better every single day. And I know that's kind of cliche and kind of boring, but at the end of the day, we don't have control over the result of a football game. It's an oblong football. You don't know how it's going to bounce. But what we have control over is the way we attack our moments, the way we attack our day-to-day operation, the way we build confidence in our preparation, so we can attack the heck out of Sunday to put ourselves in best position to get the result we want. And so, from a successful being successful, what that looks like, I'll leave it up to you guys. But in this building, it's going to be about how we attack our moments.
There you go. That was Robert Saleh earlier this week at his introductory press conference, talking about kind of the results. And that was the one comment he made throughout the entire press conference that I didn't agree with. And I know Christian didn't either. We kind of discussed this off the air. But isn't it quite literally your job as a head coach to control the outcome of a game? It's not solely your job, but there are a lot of factors that go into that. The head coach, the staff, the players. But you can, in fact, control the outcome of a game. And I found it ironic that he used the whole ball is oblong and doesn't bounce correctly. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not getting into this again. We did this yesterday. But I used that clip because he kind of is talking about what does a successful first season look like. And I want to open that up to the discussion for this segment, the next couple of segments, actually. How much of a factor will Robert Saleh's staff play into the development of this first year? You've got a lot of things that need to be developed. Cam Ward, of course, is the forefront of our minds, but I think there are pieces on the defense that can be developed. I think there are pieces, maybe a certain all-pro special teamer who could be developed as an offensive weapon. So I think there's a lot that needs to be developed. Before we get into that conversation, let's head to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com and welcome in Malika, who has been on the line waiting very patiently. Malika, go ahead.
Hey guys, thank you for taking my call. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone that, that's been going through this ice storm. We are Tennesseans. We will help each other. And thank you to all the power workers and police officers. And we've got this. We are Tennessee tough. And I also would like to talk about sports, if it's okay, please. We need winning from Robert Saleh. And did anybody see the Taylor Lewan and Busting with the Boys with Jeffrey Simmons? It was a very interesting interview. It was just very interesting. Thank you for taking my call, and I will listen.
Thank you, Malika. We appreciate the call. Yeah, that is an interesting interview. It's pretty funny. I can't repeat a lot of what was said on that interview.
But it was telling, though.
It was very telling.
Especially about Callahan, for sure.
Yeah, and it definitely changed the whole narrative for a guy like Jeffrey Simmons when he was asked about that specifically. Brian Callahan, good guy. He even talked about, I could text him right now and he'd respond. But that's just not the kind of coach that he was looking for. And not him specifically, but just for a culture standpoint. And again, they talked about potential of Robert Saleh. This was before all the hiring process. Said, I like that guy. He likes what he brings to the table. And again, I think his defense, for Robert Saleh's sake, fits the system for Jeffrey Simmons. A lot more one-on-one matchups that will probably open up for him. And just you can finally build a defense from the inside out. And again, I know that this Titans defense, especially in the secondary, needs some help. But minus that, this is an interior defensive line that can disrupt some offensive line coming up this season.
Side note, the weekend poll is up.
Okay.
So I had to get a little bit creative here. I wanted to post pictures of the two mock-ups I'm talking about. So if you go to the post and go to the comment section, the poll is there. The options are there. So that's a little bit of a side note there. But I wanted to talk about the overall discussion here of how important is the staff that Robert Saleh is bringing in to the development of the Tennessee Titans. And I think there are a lot of factors that play into this. Obviously, you are going to be drafting fourth overall. I think we all know the direction that Robert Saleh is going to want to go in the draft, and ultimately it's not his sole decision. I think Borgonzi has a pretty heavy say in that, but I think we all know they're going defense, and specifically edge rusher. I like Ruben Bain, and I don't really want to delve into the draft conversation today, but I think that plays a factor into the development of the team this year. How can Robert Saleh and staff develop core pieces? And of course, it begins and ends with Cam Ward. And I think you've brought in the perfect guy to help develop Cam Ward. Now, Robert Saleh was asked about a contingency plan if Brian Daboll is successful here and he moves on to another job. I think we're going to find out more about that contingency plan as time goes on. I don't really want to talk about that because I don't want to kick out an offensive coordinator before he's even started here.
But you make a good point, though, about bringing in all those, you guys, head coach quality coaches, that is. Because one, you have Brian Daboll. Two, you have Bones Fossil, who was an interim head coach at some point when I believe Jeff Fisher was fired. And then he even mentioned it yesterday. And that's kind of why I like that comment you just made, because that shows experience, that shows trust, that shows that Robert Saleh doesn't have to do everything on his own.
Yeah.
And again,
well, he's hired a head coach of the offense.
Right. A head coach of the offense. You already kind of have a head coach of the special teams, and it reflects a lot on the front office the Titans have brought in as well. They brought in a lot of former general managers to take over certain positions of the front office. I think that's genius. So again, you're building something from the ground up, but with a lot of years behind you for experience, and not the Brian Callahan years of experience with being around the game for 16 years.
I've been around fields for 16 years. Never called a play, but I've been around them. No, I want to leave Brian Callahan in the past, probably like a lot of you. But I think, obviously, Brian Daboll is the forefront of the mind because he's going to develop the most important player on this team, and that's Cam Ward. And they made a comment the other day that they're going to take they're going to take Cam Ward back to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And what that tells me is that they're going to try and undo whatever garbage Brian Callahan told him last year, which is good. I think hopefully that doesn't affect his development. I don't think it will too much because Cam Ward poses me as the kind of person that doesn't get rattled by adversity. So I think this is good for Cam. Outside of Brian Daboll, there have been pieces that have been hired as well. The news came out yesterday that they've hired a cornerbacks coach who specifically focuses on the nickel position, which is interesting to me because it shows kind of how the defense is going to operate. We've talked about this before, Nick, in that the Titans are transitioning with Robert Saleh calling the defensive plays from a 3-4 to a 4-3. So I think hiring a nickel position coach is interesting because it kind of reflects how the secondary is going to operate throughout the season.
Yeah, and you look at that specific position in years past for the Titans, that nickel corner has been a cornerstone in just the Titans defense in general. You just look at what we've had, what the Titans have had in the past. What they've had in the past, and that's a core pillar of this defense. And again, I kind of look at it this way, whereas yes, Robert Saleh does build from the inside out when it comes to a defense, but if you compare a defensive position to the offensive position, the cornerbacks are as valued like a wide receiver in the secondary.
Yeah.
Because that's where your money's going to be. As simple as that. That's where your money's going to be. You got to, I wouldn't say overpay for that position, but the Titans have already been burned on that as well because you had a guy that's a outside corner starting that is L'Jarius Sneed. Got burned on that little trade. Yeah. So you got to make sure you
let Rand cook.
Buy low, and hopefully that stock rises as the, I guess, offseason progresses, because you got to get a guy coming off a rookie deal or a second contract that's still young to really develop in that position. And again, you bring in a coach that can mold a player. And that was reiterated a lot in that opening press conference, was having these young core of players and molding them into what they can be in the future. And I thought that was such a genius line to say multiple times over and over again, because when you mold a player, you're not just having them for 1 to 2 years. They're there for the long haul.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was so genius. And going to y'all's comment at the beginning of, or not y'all's comment, but Robert Saleh's comment at the beginning of this segment.
I wish it was my comment.
I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as more of a positive, because he's now, I'd say, trimming the grass. He's getting rid of the excess grass that's dead and getting them off the roster. Whereas as years progress, though, you got to use them to facilitate depth chart purposes, but you're getting rid of them eventually, and you're getting to your core guys, which is why I think having a secondary coach specifically for the nickel position is genius.
The only part of that whole thing that he said that I didn't like is we don't control the outcome of a game. Just because me and Connor were talking about it, reminded me of the Vince McMahon clip where he's like, I don't make the rules around here, when it's like you quite literally do make the rules.
Give the
You
context
own
of the rest
company.
of that clip, huh?
No, it's okay. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's just the only reason I didn't like. Because I'm just like, dude, you're the coach, you're the team. You are the ones who play. You kind of do. Well, I guess the coach technically could say he doesn't, because technically he's not a player. So
That's true.
maybe he's not wrong.
You mentioned the
Completely.
Titans need to go to outside sources to find a slot corner. There is a guy out there who's relatively young, coming off of, I believe, his rookie contract that I think would fit nicely here. And Vols fans are going to jump out of their seat when I say this. His name's Alontae Taylor, former Vol, played locally here in the state of Tennessee. I think he's a solid corner. He's not an all-pro. He's not going to light the world on fire, but he's better than what you got. He's better than, Jalen Armour Davis, or Marcus Harris may be solid, but he's better than what you have because he's proven. He's a veteran in this league, and he's relatively young. So I think that could play a heavy factor. I also think there are going to be some guys that defect over here through Robert Saleh connections. I would love to have Breece Hall over here. I would love to have Jawan Jennings over here. I think those would be key pieces.
Speaking of Jawan Jennings, he was in Murfreesboro this past week. I don't know if you guys caught on to that or not.
He's from here.
He was having a lot of fun in the snow, is what I think I saw.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying that's something to watch out for. I know he's from the area.
Hey, while they're at it, draft Colton Hood. Just bring in all the Vols.
Pasty Prince, welcome Will Brooks, new starting safety. Yeah, I think that would be fun. And then I preached yesterday Wan'Dale Robinson propaganda, and everyone disagreed with me, but I think he's a solid wide receiver. I don't think he's going to come in here and be a number one, but I think he's a decent ad.
I'm with you on that, Connor. Look, there was I think it was Parker earlier this week was saying, yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson would be a great pool. I think the issue people are having with is the price tag. His projected price on the open market is roughly like $19 to $20 million AAV. But again, you got to remember, that guy's younger than a Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings is like almost 30, or he's 31, somewhere around that number. Whereas you look at a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson.
He's like 24.
He's 25. Yeah, 24, 25 years old. You're getting the same price tag on a player that's 5 years younger with a higher ceiling.
I think the height scares people away too, because he's 5'11".
Again, you could say the same thing about Ruben Bain with his arms.
Yep.
The guy is a disruptor of the game of football. You could say the same thing about Wan'Dale Robinson. He is a game-changing wide receiver for the New York Giants because their main wide receiver is Malik Neighbors, who was injured this past year. So guess what? You step up to the table in a high-populated market, there he is.
That was my argument yesterday. Look at the production he made with a rookie quarterback. I think he could come in here and make the similar amount of production. Again, he's not going to be your number one receiver just because I don't think he's uber talented enough to do that. I think if you're going to find a true number one elite wide receiver, it's going to be in the draft, and I don't think you're going to find that this year. But I think that's the kind of guy you could bring in, and I think he could make some changes to your offense. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Coming up next, outside of Cam Ward, what is the most important piece that needs to develop under the Robert Saleh regime for the Tennessee Titans? We'll also get to your phones and texts on the other side right here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 102.5 The Game. Tremendous job.
It had to be done.
I knew you were going to do it at some point. I'm just happy you did it today.
I had to do it at the next chance I got.
An intro you never skip. I'm 6 episodes in, and I still have not skipped the
I'm only
intro.
3, but neither have I.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. Tonight, Vanderbilt men's basketball takes on Ole Miss with a 5 p.m. tip-off, and the pregame show starts at 4:30 on 94.9 The Fan. That's now a home game. It was supposed to be in Oxford, Mississippi, but they have flipped the home and home. So if you're going to that game, or you were going to the game here in a couple weeks against Ole Miss, you can go to the one tonight now. It's been flipped. Let me also tell you that NASCAR coverage is back on the Game Nashville Sports Network. Tonight at 7 p.m., catch coverage of the Cookout Clash on 102.5 The Game, the Game Nashville app, or thegamenashville.com. I don't think that's going to be tonight because we have Preds hockey, but maybe we'll join in progress. I'll have to check the grid. But welcome back into the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you, talking about the hire of Robert Saleh, the introductory press conference, and how his staff is going to affect changes here in Nashville. And I want to expand upon the conversation here. Outside of Cam Ward, who is the most important piece that needs to develop under the Saleh regime? And before we get into that, let's go back to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com and welcome in Dustin in Hopkinsville, who's been waiting on the line very patiently. Dustin, go ahead.
Morning, fellas. Hope y'all are staying warm. I'm just catting around Christian County, looking at all our roads, and all the surrounding counties are clear, and ours isn't.
I know you. Based on your text, you look like you're thriving in this weather.
Oh, I do, man. I love it. I love being out in the apocalyptic stuff. The real man in me comes out.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of men, we have men in the building. Just saying, I can see it now. Bill Callahan or Brian Callahan, buddy. All they could have made him a 10 times better coach and 10 times easier on him. Just getting him a wardrobe manager. We got rid of the khakis with the pleats in them and the tucked-in shirt. I swear, I know the man has a fanny pack and some long socks and shorts, and he's got that 1 foot up on it taking photos out there, man. And now we got Robert Saleh, Gerard Butler from 300, and he's like, okay, we got the Titans, so we'll fight in the shade. All right. But all I want to, you said, what do we need to focus on now? It's not really a person. It's more of 2 spots. Take your pick. It's corner and wide receiver. And if you're talking about what we currently have developed, it'd be wide receiver. Now, with the hires, this thing on paper should run itself. I mean, Robert Saleh could probably not even get on the field, just sit up in the stands and, point fingers. That's what I like about it. I wanted no less than McCarthy because I wanted guaranteed winning football. But once this man got in the building and started talking, I don't care about the press conference. His persona, the way he talks, he's low-toned, he's soft-spoken. He's only giving you 60%. And that other 40 is going to put you in the dirt when you ain't listening. All right? Now, all I'm saying is sex appeals in the building. There's nothing that can turn me over to the other side. The men don't have what I need. But I tell you what, I know a good-looking man when I see it. He's got all the parts. All he's got to do is win. If he loses, it's like everybody else. He's going to get his ass chapped. But I got a feeling this man is bringing testosterone to the fullest in the building. Optimize, you ain't got nothing on the Titans right now.
Thank you for the call, Dustin. I got to let you go. But I appreciate
Dustin.
the call. I love Dustin, but the whole time
He is a handsome man. I will agree with that.
I love Dustin. He's my brother in blue, but all I could think of the whole time was, shoot, I'll do it, Sheriff. That's all I could think of.
That's true.
So.
I mean, look, great call by Dustin. He does make a lot of great points. The fact that Robert Saleh does bring that extra oomph. And again, it goes back to his question that he answered from, I believe it was Jim White. It's going to be violent and fast. And that's how he wants his team to play.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. Oh, Christian, I think is I got you.
I wasn't going to actually do it on
Jacob Fatu had it first.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Oh, so basically you're saying everything stems from wrestling.
Yes, it does.
I love it.
It does.
Indeed. You're picking up, and you're picking up fast. I'm proud of you.
And violent.
But to his point, he was going exactly the direction I was going to go. I think wide receiver is probably the most important position that needs to develop under the Saleh regime. And I don't think that's going to be a thing that changes overnight. You've got to draft an elite wide receiver, and I don't think you're going to find that early in the rounds of this draft. Maybe they surprise us and take someone that falls in the second round of the draft. This is a surprisingly deep draft in terms of wide receivers. You're not going to get Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or someone like that, but I could see maybe a Jeremy Bernard or Chris Brazzell or someone like that fall to you in the second or third round, and maybe you take a chance on a guy like that. But to Dustin's point, and to my point now, I do think that wide receiver is the most important position that needs to develop. The other one, to me, is edge rusher. And I think it's fairly obvious that's the direction the Titans are going to go with their first pick in the first round. So I think defense, I feel more confident about developing with a defensive coach calling the plays and very clearly excited about the fact that he's calling the plays. But wide receiver, I think, is detrimental to the success of this offense's success. That's great. I think it's detrimental to the success that they have. And it's detrimental to the development of Cam Ward, because if Cam Ward doesn't have a guy that he trusts to throw the ball to down the field, then what are we doing this for?
I mean, you're right. You got to go and find that perennial piece. Again, I'm not really sold on the wide receiver position has to be that soul sold spot that it has to improve. I think right now what you got definitely can get you by for another season. I'm in the camp of the secondary needs to be improved. Like, go and grab guys, like I mentioned before, are coming off rookie deals, or go to the draft for guys like that. I think that's where you got to go supplement your team. And again, the phrase goes, defense wins championships. This team can win a championship if they have the top, perennial defense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't think it's going to change overnight. It's going to take some years to get developed. But as far as this season, I feel fairly confident in the fact that the Titans will have a solid defense if they make the right moves in free agency, if they make the right picks in the draft. And I'll keep saying it, and it sounds like I'm a Titans representative, but we got a long way to go before we get to that point. We got a long way to go before we see this team hit the field for the first time under the Saleh era. We're not even done with this season yet. We still got to crown a champion.
I'd like to ask you, though, I don't know if I've got your opinion on this or not, but Femi Oladejo, what are your thoughts on that because of Robert Saleh coming in now? I'm in the camp that it resets his clock a little bit.
I think to some degree it does. I still think that pick was a bad pick at the point it was.
Right.
I understand it was a second-round pick, and I just don't feel like you take project guys in the second round. But now that you have a proven defensive development defensive developmental coach, I think that kind of resets his clock just a little bit. Okay. I think he's got to stay healthy, first of all. He only played 5 games in his rookie season, so that's not good. He's got to stop making the crucial mistakes that he was making. There were too many times last year he would get caught with hands to the face, or he would get caught with he wouldn't get to the quarterback much, but he'd get caught with a holding or something like that. It's crucial mistakes that he makes, and I think this could go for the same thing on another player named J.C. Latham, who I think will also need to grow. But Femi Oladejo, to me, is an interesting player because I think he has the tools to be a good pass rusher in this league, but I also think he has bust kind of written all over him.
Well, the reason why I say it's like a reset for a guy like Femi Oladejo is because you're now in a defense where you have more of those one-on-one opportunities on the edge. You're not shoved inside to where you really have to kind of fit in the gap. You're actually out there, and like sometimes there are defenses where they stretch you out in a 9-tech where you can kind of go and off the edge and maybe rub the shoulder of the tackle.
Which is why I think it makes sense to take Ruben Bain if you want Femi Oladejo to develop. Put Femi Oladejo at that outside linebacker position, let him rush the quarterback, and then you have a defensive end in Ruben Bain who can also draw one-on-one opportunities.
Yeah, that's why I think you can just do it for both.
Yeah,
they can both be on the edge. Like, that's simple.
Send them both. Send them all. Just
because
go.
You don't want to convert a guy like Femi Oladejo back to a inside linebacker. It just doesn't work, especially for his size.
There's been too much positional flip-flopping on this roster as of late, and I think we need to be done with that.
Yeah. I think you just have to stick to a plan and go forward with it.
Yep. I mean, this isn't EA where you just get to the position changes screen and then you flip them and see what happens. This is real football. So there's too much positional changes going on, and I think we just need to be done with that. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have thoughts on that. Coming up next, it's Newt's Notes. I'll take over the program and hopefully get you fired up for some change. We'll get to that coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 1025 The Game. Welcome back in Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game as I hit it right at the buzzer and then put on headphones that were not my own.
You did your perfect WWE intro.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a perfect intro.
Only thing I needed was to come in from a helicopter and walk down the arena stairs, but
There was a perfect Roman intro. It really was.
it was. I mean, the crowd popped for me. That's all I could say. Okay, so I think we need to talk about some comments made by Emmanuel Acho.
Oh,
on-
Acho. Yeah.
Acho, whatever. He's irrelevant anyway. So they were he's obviously an analyst for Fox Sports, which should tell you a lot. They were talking about the hire that the Cleveland Browns made of Todd Monken, obviously former offensive coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens, offensive coordinator under Kirby Smart, won 2 national championships at Georgia, took the Ravens to the AFC Championship, worked with an MVP quarterback in Lamar Jackson. They were talking about the hire that the Browns made and kind of the role Todd Monken plays in the development of that team and Shedeur Sanders. And he had some really, really interesting comments that I find kind of dumb. Here's what he had to say.
Because any expectation for Shedeur Sanders under Todd Monken, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monken as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive coordinator, you could say Lamar Jackson had an MVP season under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, you can make arguments under Todd Monken. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships at Georgia under Todd Monken. But as a head coach, no. Nothing about Todd Monken as a head man gets me excited. I need to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. That's what I need to see. But what I don't yet see, T, is like, how is Todd Monken going to command that locker room, command that group of men? And also, if I'm Shedeur or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monken? What have you won on an NFL level as a head coach? You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even have expectation for Shedeur under Todd Monken because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T? Why?
What have you won as a head coach on an NFL level? Well, nothing, given he's never been an NFL head coach before. So you're right on that point, Emmanuel. Shedeur shouldn't have to listen to him. What has Shedeur Sanders won on an NFL level? He is a flag football participant in the Pro Bowl because someone else couldn't do it. He started 7 games for the Cleveland Browns this year on a bad team. What has he won at an NFL level? And if we want to talk about what people have won on an NFL level, Emmanuel Acho, what have you won on an NFL level? In fact, I have his career stats pulled up right now. In 9 seasons in the NFL, Emmanuel Acho, 22 solo tackles. That's it. That's all he's got. And I understand he played for some bad teams. He played for the Eagles. He played for the Giants, but no Super Bowls to your name, no title appearances, nothing noteworthy. And he was a standout in college. He was an all Big 12 player at Texas, and good on you. But we're not talking about college success if we're using your narrative. We're not talking about Todd Monken's 2 national championships he won as an offensive coordinator with Stetson Bennett. No. We're talking about NFL success. I don't think you get to be the one to comment on NFL success, especially on head coach success, given that you are not an NFL head coach. And that's easy for us to say because we critique NFL coaches all the time. But the fact that you're encouraging a rookie quarterback who will now be in his 2nd year, he's got 7 games under his belt, not to listen to a new head coach simply because he's never been a head coach before and never won anything as a head coach is ridiculous to me. I think that is complete criticism. Or maybe not criticism isn't the word. I think it's ironic that he's preaching that because I think it's dumb. I think that the fact that you are encouraging an already unstable ego of Shedeur Sanders to not listen to a head coach and say, nah, I'm going to do my own thing, which is probably going to happen anyway. But the fact that we are just celebrating Shedeur Sanders as this hero, this leader among men, this generational talented quarterback. And look, I don't hate Shedeur Sanders, but he's a 5th-round pick. He's not an elite quarterback. Not yet. Plus, what are the Browns going to do at quarterback? They've still got Deshaun Watson under contract. They've got Shedeur Sanders. They've got Dylan Gabriel. They've got 3 quarterbacks on their roster. They got to get rid of one. 2 of them are rookies. So I think this whole commentary from Emmanuel Ho is just ridiculous. Emmanuel, I mean, this is why you're an analyst. And I put analysts in quotations. Overall, I think we need to just stop hiring former athletes as analysts because not much is provided from them. There are some that are great. We work with one. Derek Mason is fantastic at that. But these guys on First Take, like Cam Newton, I think, who am I? Shannon Sharp, I think sucks. There's one other one that I can't stand. Emmanuel Ho, obviously.
Ryan
now.
Clark, probably.
Ryan Clark is awful.
I think
Kendrick Perkins. I mean, they're all terrible.
To that point, though, Connor, about analysts in the sports world, I think there's a oversaturation of it for sure. They do bring some form of, I guess, first person point of view when it comes to dissecting plays and so forth, and giving that like context in the locker room speak, which is kind of what a lot of audience listeners and viewers love. But yeah, I agree. There's a little bit of some oversaturation of former sports athletes in the media aspect of things. As for Emmanuel Acho's comments about Todd Monken and why Shedeur Sanders should not listen to him, I'm with you 100%. Again, looking back at Monken's career in the NFL, let's take Jameis Winston, for example. Would you call him I'd say, successful quarterback in the NFL for the most part? Maybe, maybe not.
He's had success on bad teams.
Correct. Thank you for saying that specifically. Let's go back when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the starting quarterback from 2016 to 2018. You ready for this, Connor?
I'm ready.
Out of 16 games for Jameis Winston, he threw for 4,090 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 18 interceptions with 60.8 completion rate and 86.1 passer rating. Probably his best career stats yet of the season. 2017, 16 games, 3,500 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 63.8 pass completion rating. Again, those are a positive to a negative. More positive with the touchdowns, less with the interceptions. That's a good, plus to minus combo there. 2018, because of his suspension, had 11 games, 2,992 passing yards, 19 touchdowns again, 14 interceptions, 64.6 completion rate, and a 90.2 passer rating. Those 3 seasons, Connor, who was the offensive coordinator? Take a wild guess.
Todd Monken.
Todd Monken. And let's put it this way. Todd Monken, what did that lead to? More success for him to go on to Georgia, develop as a coordinator, and what did he do at Georgia? And even Nacho alluded to it. Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
2-time national champion. And what did he do after that? Made the jump back to the NFL as a efficient offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. And again,
with an MVP quarterback.
Correct. With an MVP quarterback. And you could say Lamar Jackson carried majority of that weight because of his raw natural talent. But again, who is designing these plays? Who is getting them into winning opportunities? You could say a little bit is on the quarterback, but the other half, definitely on Todd Monken.
Bingo. In conclusion, no, Todd Monken has not won anything as an NFL head coach. The reason he is an NFL head coach is because of the resume you just laid out. Offensive coordinator in successful situations, 2-time national champion, and overall developed one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. And of course, touch grass, Emmanuel Ho. Thank you and good night. Coming up next, we'll get to hour number 2. The weekend poll is still up if you want to go vote on that. 2 Titans mock-up logos for you as we are speculating they're going to start a redesign. And I think the narrative is being pushed a little bit. We'll get to the results on the other side. And hour number 2 of the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Christian Skeleton, Nick Frazier here with you on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2 of the Weekend Huddle here on this beautiful Saturday morning. Not really. It's like 15 degrees outside and still a little bit icy, and a lot of people are not having power, but we make do with what we have. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game National Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. And as we do to kick off the second hour of the Saturday program every week, we react to the weekend poll here on 102.5 The Game. And today's poll is a good one, in my opinion. Obviously, with the recent markdowns, and you and I, Frazier, were just looking at it during the break, recent discounts on pretty much all Titans apparel kind of leads us to believe a reboot is coming soon, maybe a redesign of the Titans as we know them. And there have been some mock-ups put out and alleged rumors coming out from the Titans house of a new logo. So I have put out the one from the Titans house and one mock-up that someone has made and asked you all to vote on them. Through 31 votes, obviously your two options as we see them are, it is a light blue sword with the TriStar logo and a hidden oil rig inside. It's obviously Oilers colors. And then the one inside the Titans house is the thumbtack without the flame. So option 1 and option 2 respectively. Through 31 votes, and you still have 15 minutes to vote. Option 1, the sword with the oil rig in light blue, is winning with 77.4% of voters voting for said option. 22.6% of you like the non-flaming thumbtack, which I'm not a fan of, but to each their own. I personally love this sword mock-up. And the picture I includes a helmet design. It's a white helmet with that logo, red face mask, light blue chin strap, light blue and red stripe across the top of the crown. It looks tremendous. So I think I would love if they would lean into, obviously, the Oiler colorway, but lean into that sword. It's unique.
Yeah, the sword to me is the staple of what a Titan is.
Mhm.
And the fact that if you want to go away from that and like you're talking about, go to the thumbtack. Again, I think that's more on the shoulder patches. I think that'd be great.
I agree.
But no, you got to keep a primary logo, and that's definitely a primary logo because you can add on to that. You can keep it onto the side to the left, and then you could add the rest of your lettering to the right of it. So it'd play on as a letter instead of just a logo.
It would kind of remind me of what the Bears recently did, because originally, like, the C that's on their helmet was kind of like their primary logo, and I feel like they've kind of transitioned a little. Like the C still on their helmet, but like I feel like they use the actual bear a lot more. Like you see that on the score bug and like on their website and like on their social media stuff. Like I don't know if we're going to completely transition into the sword being like the helmet logo. I'd love that. If you're going to switch up the helmet logo, I'd want it to be the sword. I completely agree with y'all.
Yeah, I think he's right in that flameless thumbtack logo would look great as like a shoulder patch.
The best tweet I saw about that this week was the gif of Michael Keaton's Batman, but it was just him without the horns, and it said, "I'm man." That's what they compared that logo to. I was dying.
When he says that, it makes me think of not this year's smoky gray uniforms, but the previous year that had the orange TriStar logo on the shoulders. That's what it makes me think of. And I think that actually looked really good.
Yeah, those were great. Those are probably, aside from like the normal just Nike ones from like the Butch era, which I actually liked a lot. Those were the best ones in my opinion, but just mainly because of the TriStar. I love the TriStar.
Yeah. The TriStar is unique. It's unique, but it can be used across all Tennessee athletics, college, pro. The Predators use it. The Sounds use it. The Titans obviously
I feel
use
like the Grizzlies are like the only sports team in the state that doesn't use it. Almost.
Well, Memphis is its own country.
Yeah,
so.
it's its own. I feel like Memphis is like Mississippi, kind of like how Ohio folks feel about Cincinnati. They're like, yeah, it's Kentucky. That's probably kind of how most of us feel about Memphis. So,
yeah. If the Titans do go on to making more of their logo ensemble for jerseys, I'm kind of in the camp of not having any logos on the shoulders or the arm sleeves of any of the new jerseys.
Just numbers?
Yeah, just numbers. Because I think the Oilers uniform was just so pure and so original. I'm not saying go to that, but yet do something similar to that. Like if you go back and look at the Titans' old jerseys from like 98 on, before they went to the whole like sharp edge kind of look, the sleek look. You look at those bobbleheads right there, Connor and Christian. They have the light blue arm sleeves. There's nothing else to that. I think they need to go a little bit something similar to that.
Well, they've got the sword logo on the side, the old one.
That's true.
I think
See, that's the sword logo I would want is the old one, but I
Yeah.
know they'll probably redesign it a little bit.
I
Yeah,
think they should. You got a new coach, a new quarterback. You're moving into a new place. I think it makes sense. I think if you're going to keep the thumbtack, you got to keep the flame. I wouldn't change it whatsoever. Maybe recolor it if you want to, kind of like what the Grizzlies did when they kind of changed their shade of light blue. They got rid of the white on the nose and replaced it with that blue, and it looks good. So I would do that. Maybe take the navy out of the flameless thumb or the flaming thumbtack logo and make it light blue or something like that. Red stars, keep the T white. I think it would look really good.
Have an alternate jersey, just all black. Call it the oil black.
Yeah, I would be
I
more.
don't hate that. That was nice.
That was
Did
really
you
good,
just think of
actually.
that just off the hip?
Yeah. off the
Wow.
I would.
That was
yeah.
nice.
I would be more in favor if you're going to go Oilers colors as an alternate. How would this look? Light blue helmet, red top, light blue pants.
I wouldn't be opposed to
It'd be
that.
unique,
It would be.
or just red pants.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think red pants definitely fit into the, I guess, colorway for sure. I just look at red as more of an accent color than I do a primary
agree.
color to the logo.
I agree, but red jerseys have been something Titans fans have been clamoring for 25 years. It would be kind of nice and kind of a give back to the fans if they were to cater to that.
I know we never saw it on the field. They sold red jerseys,
Right.
didn't they? Yeah.
Right. That's why people
Yeah.
want them. They've done it with every iteration of the uniform. My dad used to have Eddie George in red, and then Lyman told me he has Marcus Mariota in red
That's
in the
tremendous.
current uniform set.
I
But
used to have a Frank Wycheck red jersey.
That's
I don't know
awesome.
where it went. I think I outgrew it. I'm not sure where it
Ah.
is.
I think we had, I think it was Eddie George. It was either Eddie or Steve. I can't remember which one.
Fantastic jerseys, though. I think you're right, though. Bring something back like that.
Real ones had a Jake Locker jersey when they were 8.
I'm curious to, that was my first jersey. I'm curious to see what they do because they're getting the NFL rivalries uniform, which is like the city edition, I guess, to use or City Connect to use MLB terms. I'm curious what they do with that one. I feel like that one is going to be red, and I think they lean into kind of Broadway, the country music aspect of Nashville.
Here's the issue I have right now with the Titans, and if you do this whole uniform rebrand, you're gonna have a run-in with the Houston Texans. Like, let's be honest. Looking at what was it, the Cougars last year? They had the whole Houston Oiler outfit or whatever it was, or uniform combo.
Yeah, and the NFL initially told them no.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that's how deep they're going to go with it, but then you have the Houston Texans that have their little H-Town uniforms. If you go with like an oil, logo or an oil, I guess, jersey ensemble where it's all black, you're kind of resembling the Houston Texans a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to really find another identity for I guess, a jersey rebrand for the Titans.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with maybe we just phase out the Navy a little bit. I understand two-tone blue has always been the thing here since the Titans got here, but I think it's a new era and the Oilers colors are just so popular. Why not lean into them? 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Weston Hermitage, my good friend on the text line, says, unpopular opinion, but maybe the Titans just need to exactly copy those icy white Packers jerseys. Those uniforms are incredible. Can I give you a hot take? I'm not a fan of those because any other team, I would be okay with it. The Packers, not so much. I like the Packers with the yellow helmets and the yellow pants just because of the tradition and the classics. Now, the Vikings doing it, I think it's tremendous. The Bengals doing it, I think it's tremendous. But the Packers are the one team I just can't get behind doing it because of just the tradition and the pageantry that comes with the cheeseheads.
I agree to a certain extent. I'll just say I think my main problem with those is just when they wear them. Because didn't they wear them on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they did.
That made me so mad.
And
I'm
they
like, dude, you're playing on Thanksgiving. Wear your normal jerseys.
And they wore them against the Cowboys.
yeah,
on
like
Monday Night Football.
I don't like that at all. Like it's Tennessee's kind of stopped doing this thing for a bit. Like Tennessee used to wear like alternate jerseys against like Florida and like the main rivalries. The main rivals, you should wear your normal traditional uniforms again.
If I ever see the Packers in that uniform against the Bears, I'll throw something.
Oh yeah, me too. No, that would be
Same with the
despicable.
Bears. If the Bears ever wear that orange against the Packers, I'll throw something. The Bears and the Packers should always be navy versus green. in my opinion. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have any uniform thoughts to just wrap us up here. But coming up next, the Predators in action tonight in Long Island against the New York Islanders. And the Preds have quietly fallen on some hard times as of late. So I want to open the conversation up. And this is a venting place and this is a safe place. Is it time to sell off for the Preds? Are tough decisions on the horizon as we approach the trade deadline in the NHL? We'll discuss that coming up next. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this Saturday morning, right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Oh, it's a concert I must go to. But I'm taking the Joe Rexroad route of just waiting and waiting and waiting until prices drop. And so far, it's working out for me. They're down to 120, I think.
Wow, 120 is not bad, honestly.
So I think if I wait it out long enough, I can get them for like 80.
Under 100, yeah, that'd be nice.
Which would be tremendous. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. We're going to switch gears here, talk a little bit of Purds, as they are off in Long Island.
Before we get to Pred, just real quick, you like skydiving, right?
Love skydiving.
Do you like skydiving?
No. I know what you're referring to. I still wouldn't like skydiving.
I know we know Puka Nakua likes skydiving. So does Ray Davis. And
Oh, Ray Davis
does too?
6 other NFL athletes.
I
keep
saw
saying they
Micah
love skydiving.
Parsons just kind of tweeted
Are they
a
all-
Curry gif with it, but I didn't know if that's like confirming like he's supporting Puka or if he's like, oh, I like skydiving
Are they
too.
all-
I'm like, I don't know.
Are they all just quote tweeting?
Just saying like,
They all
yes,
saying,
basically.
I love skydiving.
Basically, yes.
Maybe I should jump in.
I'm just crying laughing.
It's like
over
that. Have you seen that post where it's like Mahomes puts something and LeBron comments on it, and someone comments to LeBron, "Yeah, I agree. You guys should hang
We
out.
should
with
all
me."
hang out
Yeah,
sometime, guys.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that with Ray Davis and Puka Nakua and Sydney Sweeney.
we're all gonna be skydiving by the end of the day.
That's what Chase is like. Chase is like, Sydney Sweeney's my girl. I'm like, Chase, that's everyone's girl.
It's America.
It's the Village Bicycle, baby.
That I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Above my head.
Yes, it was Austin Powers.
Is that
where he was talking about
1, 2, or 3? Which one?
one.
Oh,
Where he was talking about the Italian espionage spy whose name I cannot say live on air.
Yeah.
She's the Village Bicycle, baby. Everyone's had a ride.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. All right. But you were saying about the Preds.
Yes.
Sorry.
The Preds are in action tonight in Long Island, taking on the New York Islanders. And I want to kind of take a philosophical approach to Preds for the next 30 minutes or so. They've fallen on a bit of hard times. They're still technically in contention for that last wild card spot. But when they get 1 point, the teams bunched around them get 2. And it just doesn't seem right now that production is the way it needs to be. So I'm going to open it up, and this is a safe space, and no opinion is wrong. Is it time for the Predators to begin selling things off as we approach the trade deadline? Obviously, you've got technically a month before then, but the Olympic break is about 2.5 weeks, and I don't think any NHL team can make any moves in that time span as players are off overseas in Milan playing Olympic hockey. So is it time for the Predators to just make some moves and, deal with the consequences?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you mentioned this before the break and teased it a little bit, I was just sighing of, I don't like this at all. I don't like where this is going. I'm still in the camp. The Preds can hold on and really see what they can do with this team. Again, they're only 4 or 5 points out of a wild card spot right now. Let's see. They're currently, 5 points out of the second wild card spot. Anaheim holds that along with Utah at 60, holding that first spot. Again, looking at their upcoming schedule, New York Islanders, sure, that might be a toss of a game. You need to win that, though. That's tonight. You do need to win that game. Minus that, you have St. Louis. You've beat them multiple times before. They're below you in the wild card standings. If you can get that win, that's what you need. Looking at Minnesota, toss up. I expected them last time they were on the road to play them that they were going to lose. They end up winning that game. Then you have Washington, who's also fighting for a wild card spot on the other side of the standings. That's a game where you probably could win that, and Chicago's also below you in the wild card standings. So if you can win those games before the Olympic break, I think you're in good hands.
I tend to agree with you. I think they're still in a position to where they can get things done. But I just watched them play, and I watched kind of that fast tempo they were playing with. It's kind of slowed down over time, and they're not getting goals as easily. I understand they're on the road. They're playing good teams. Boston's a decent team. The Devils are right about the same skill level as the Predators, I would say, and you got them in their place. So I would say, yes, I think they're still capable of making a wild card spot. Things just all have to go right. It's all got to happen pretty quickly for that to happen. But if they don't, I think these next couple of games right before the Olympic break are pivotal to what we'll see at the deadline. And if they can't get things done, I think you might see some things happen. I think the talking point of who's going to be sold off first begins and ends with Ryan O'Reilly. Obviously, he doesn't have a no trade clause in his contract, but they treat him as such. I just feel his value is going to be as high as ever right now.
Yeah.
Just because of the level of play he's at, the way he facilitates the puck. And I think from a locker room standpoint, that's the kind of guy you want to have around, a guy that lifts himself and others up. And when things are going wrong, he's the first one to blame himself. That dude could score 6 goals in a game, and if they lose, he's still going to find something wrong with his game. So I love Ryan O'Reilly, but I think if things start to go bad, he might be out the door. There are key pieces on this roster you aren't going to see being sold off. Yossi's not going anywhere. Forsberg's not going anywhere. Saros isn't going anywhere. It's the young guys and kind of the glue guys around them that I think you're going to start to see sold off. Johnny January, this is the last day of it. So I would expect that's another guy they're probably going to try and move off of, just because I don't think it's worked as well as they would have hoped.
Yeah.
Michael McCarron, I think, is an interesting talking point, because I think you're not going to get a first-round pick for him, but you could probably get a decent return for a guy like that just because of his size and the passion he brings. He's always the first one to jump into a fight, and teams jump for guys like that. So I think there are certain guys on this roster that are going to start to be taking calls on. I think it begins with Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does seem like the number one spot there. But looking at the Titans, the Preds' current, line of games, they're winnable games. And again, the biggest issue for them is not getting out on the front foot of scoring goals. Allowing goals first doesn't help you out in the long run. They always got to work 2-3 times as hard.
They're playing from behind.
Yeah, they just need that extra result. And when you can score first and try to maintain the lead, and we've seen that in the last couple games to where they have regained the lead, but they can't hold on to it. That game ends up becoming tied, going to overtime, and then just an unlucky bounce or an unlucky shot towards goal, and they lose. And again, you're only getting 1 point out of that, but if you can somehow just get on the front foot and hold the lead, this team can compete and get into the playoffs. I know they can. It's just a matter of stringing together a couple wins.
5724 on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says it's time to tank. You can't trade for a franchise center or a player. An average team will always be an average team. We don't have a farm system that is scaring anybody's. I would disagree on the farm system point. I think you've got some prospects marinating in Milwaukee that maybe aren't going to be elite level players, but I think you're going to be core players here in Nashville. You've seen some of them come up. Reed Schaefer. Fedor Svechkov has been a roster staple, but he's been sent back down just to get some primetime experience in the minors while the Olympic break is going on. But I think, obviously, Brady Martin, your future is hinging on him. Joachim Kimmel, you've got some pieces that I think are going to be core pieces of this roster moving forward. But
2 guys in college, Aiden Fink, Riker Lee.
The Fink wink, baby.
Pretty good.
Riker Lee is good.
Yeah. Riker Lee had a pretty good World Juniors, if I'm not mistaken. So
you
got to add on to that. Aiden Fink doing pretty good with Penn State right now. I think he had that was a couple weeks ago, about his 100 points.
The Preds were tied for most prospects in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
So
Teddy Stiga. Don't forget about that.
Yep.
There's a lot of young talent that's, developing at a pretty rapid pace.
Andrew Gibson.
Yep. I'm curious to know about Tanner Mollendijk. I'd like to see a little more progression out of that. That might be to the Texas point of like, well, there's no really anybody that is defying in Milwaukee. Again, they're young talent.
Not everyone has Connor Bedard waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
There's no Connor McDavid waiting in the wings in some of these organizations. And look, I understand the narrative that those guys are taken at the top of the draft. And if you want one, you've got to suck. But let's also not forget that the NHL draft is not like the NFL draft in that you can be the worst team in the league and still end up with the 7th overall pick. It's just how the balls bounce.
Right. I mean, also
Adam Pierce, my balls are in your hands, as Ron Art.
I thought it was Aldous.
Oh, was it Aldous?
I don't know. Either way, the balls were in their hands regardless.
Yes, his balls were in his hands.
Interesting. Well, I mean, look, let's not forget about Igor Serin as well. That former first-round pick for the Preds, Russian guy. I mean, currently looking at his stats right now, in 43 games, 30 points, 15 goals, 15 assists. You're getting productive time for him. I mean, as the big stature, this is a kid that's 19 years old. See what he can do when he gets to the NHL level. I mean, again, that's all trending in the right direction. Yeah. So, again, you could say tank for really good picks, whatever. The Preds, if it's me right now, they're in a win-now window. You have veteran players that are not getting any younger. Make sure you capitalize on it. So again, if you are in the Preds, I could say shoes right now, if you can somehow get close to a playoff spot before the deadline, add one piece. If you can offload a player and just add an extra piece and see if you can do something with it, go ahead. Because offloading guys right now, to me, I don't think really helps. It just doesn't.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you have thoughts on the Predators' current situation, we'll continue the conversation coming up next. Plus, is it time to have questions about the head coach, the head Pred, Andrew Brunette? We'll continue the conversation coming up next. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this Saturday morning Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. Living on a prayer, I guess you could say. One of the most overplayed karaoke songs of all time. Still a great song, but
I was about to say, I feel like there's a good reason for that.
yeah, it's a great song.
yeah,
But
very easy karaoke song.
I've heard many white women singing this down Broadway, particularly in probably the singer of this song's bar, which is a great spot, by the way.
Phenomenal spot.
Love JBJ's. Great spot to watch sports. And I hope you guys like sports because I like sports. Sports. Did you know we have napkins here?
Did you? I did not know this. Wait, what?
I gave a little house tour of the station when I was living here. And
Napkins?
I actually had no idea that we had napkins here
Yeah.
until I watched that video.
Now
I was
you know.
like, wow, it's good to know. I don't have to bring my own now.
now you
Yeah.
know we got napkins, we got a coffee machine.
Paper plates?
Yes, they're hidden.
Do we still have a PlayStation in the conference room?
We do not,
Ah.
unfortunately. It has gone home back to my heated home with power.
Nice.
I'm sorry, that was
That's
really
okay. No, it's okay.
mean.
We got a generator. We're good.
That's- well, you're MacGyver at this point, taking a freaking radio cable and making it
And
into a
TV
satellite.
antenna. Yeah.
It's
Look,
e-
if I ever was a homeless person, I think I'd be able to survive for a little bit.
Well,
But I choose not to. I don't like that lifestyle. But you know,
if the zombie apocalypse hits us today, I know whose house I'm going to.
look, there's a long line right now
Yeah.
of people to get in. So just put it this way: there's a VIP list, there's a regular list. I got you.
Oh, you just reminded me of something I forgot to RSVP for. That's probably important that I need to be at,
Oh,
and you do too.
yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget about it. I actually asked about that not too long ago. So yeah, ready to go for that.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I gotta find the magnet.
Ah, yeah. Look, when my house heats up over 48 degrees, I'll walk in and grab that.
I'll,
what I
I'll,
need.
I'll scan your barcode
There we
because
go.
I forgot where mine is.
Yeah.
It's an important thing I should probably be at.
Kitchen drawer.
Yeah, it's gonna hang up on my fridge in celebration of J&T.
You know what else I'm going to hang up on my fridge?
Mm.
The Nashville Predators playoff schedule when
Mm.
that happens.
You are.
Is that a prediction?
This is a prediction.
Wow.
It's not a prediction.
It's a
It's
spoiler.
a spoiler. There we go. So you are heavy on the idea that the Predators are going to dig their way out of this.
Yes, they always do.
Why?
This team that has gone on an 18-game, 20-game point streak before, I'm not saying they're going to do that again, but this is a team that can, if they can kind of just cut away from the lack of defense production, because let's be honest, we know the Justin Barons, the even Brady Shea, it's not really worked out to the point where you want them to. Sure, Brady Shea has 16 points. Justin Barron doesn't have that many points on that side of things, but you need more production from the defensive side of the puck. And when you don't have that and you rely on a lot of the Roman Yossi's, the Adam Wilsby's, the Nick Blankenbergs, which by the way, I like Nick Blankenberg.
Yeah, he just does his job.
He's fast.
Mhm.
That's the thing is you need fast defensemen to work in this system with Andrew Burnett. You mentioned before the break about maybe there are questions surrounding the guy. I don't think they're really questions per se. It's the system. And I don't think his system is fully there when it comes to defense pairings. Again, it's tough to really develop true defensemen in this league and to grab some here and there. But I think if you can grab another piece, maybe that is a piece you grab at the deadline, is another defenseman, and somehow you offload another. Because right now there are some guys on that roster that are just not cutting it for that time.
Do you think the Andrew Burnett hot seat should restart back up?
No, I
No.
don't. And I'm not just saying that because, company, man. I think he's a good coach. I think what we've seen for production purposes offensively is what's really working. There was that article that came out a year and a half ago about the Ginga pressing and relating it to soccer and how he has high press to the pressure to the puck, and you can get the puck and score in transition. I think we're seeing a lot of that, and we're seeing faster cycles of the puck around the net. And that's something that I think is working well for Burnett in his system. So I wouldn't say the hot seat is back on. No, I don't think it's warm. I just think there is a short leash. I wouldn't even go to the warm seat, whatever, but there is a
That's
leash.
exactly what I think. I think the leash is short, but I wouldn't start the hot seat because I think he's shown that he's capable of simplifying the system a little bit to
Right.
where the players can execute offensively and do well in that. I think they just kind of hit a slump at this point. Hopefully they turn things back up tonight in New York against the Islanders. That's a team I think you're capable of beating. Should be a fun goalie matchup. I would expect Saros versus Sorokin.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Should. Yeah, because Ananen played last game, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that overtime loss.
Mhm.
And to add on to that, talking about offensive production, we're seeing a different Steven Stamkos now.
We're
Like,
seeing the Steven Stamkos.
I don't know if you recall the interview Barry Trotz had with our afternoon show, Connor and Christian with DVD, about seeing more out of Steven Stamkos. And then he went on, I think that night or the night after, having a 4-goal game. And we saw him crashing the front of the net, scoring in different ways, and not just sitting on that left or right circle and just waiting for the slap shot. Like that wasn't the Steven Stamkos. We saw a different version of him. And again, you're to the right point, a complete version of Steven Stamkos.
That is one reason I wouldn't really like selling off Ryan O'Reilly, because I think that front line of Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Stamkos works well together. O'Reilly takes the draws, obviously, but Steven Stamkos, I think, is the true center of that line. He's always in the middle, like you said, crashing the net, getting to the goal, scoring in close, which I think is where he's at his best. And Forsberg can do the same thing. O'Reilly is really just the facilitator there, but he can get to the goal as well. So I think if they can get a couple of key wins before the Winter Olympic break, I think they'll be in good position. And I think they'll continue to be in good position and hopefully ride things out as they head towards the playoffs. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. A little bit of news I forgot to give you. I mentioned earlier in the program we're supposed to have NASCAR today. That race has been postponed to Monday due to snow at Bowman Gray Stadium. So tonight here on 1025 The Game, pregame starting at 5 o'clock, you'll have Preds and Islanders. Adam Vingan hosting that tonight. So should be a fun time. But coming up next, our final segment here on this Saturday, we play everyone's favorite game. Where are they now? Coming up next, Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 1025 The Game.
You light my fire.
I saw a skit that Joe posted this week about the Gap Band with the keyboard.
Yep.
And this song was all I could think of. I didn't know they had another song other than this one.
They do?
Yeah, but this one's outstanding.
Yes, I was trying to think of another word. Why would I say another word other than outstanding? I don't know why.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
It's almost like it's
Glorious?
the name of the song.
glorious.
Glorious.
I won't give in.
Because I'm victorious.
Until I'm
Oh,
victorious.
until, sorry. Not great with those lyrics, but it's a good song.
You just pissed Joe Rexroad off by singing that song.
He hates it?
Yeah, for some reason. I know it's some wrestling thing, but I don't understand it. Like, shut up, Joe. I love you, but shut up.
Don't hurt yourself, Joe. It's
Yeah.
okay. Just enjoy it.
Hurt the mic, not me. Yeah, there you go.
That's
There
for
you
you, Joe.
As-
Rexroad.
We got in our weekly Rex Road before the end of the show.
Yeah, well, I had one earlier.
Yeah.
As we wrap things up here on our last segment of the program, we play everyone's favorite game. Where are they now? It's obviously just, as we've been doing for the past couple of months, just the career paths of former and or current athletes.
Mhm.
And the points don't really matter. And I couldn't even tell you my current record. I just know I'm pretty good.
Possibly over 50%.
I think I'm over 500.
It's like golf at this point. Just play as well as you can and see where you stack up. At the end.
I go the Scotty Scheffler method of I just don't really care. And if I do well, I do well.
That's pretty much what
And
he
that's
does,
how he
and
wins.
It works tremendously.
All right. Are we ready?
We are ready.
All right. I will start things off today with our first contestant. We're going to go to hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Montreal Canadiens, Nashville Predators, Florida Panthers, Washington Capitals, Pittsburgh Penguins.
The first team again?
Montreal Canadiens. The Habs, if you will.
Oh, it's not PK Subban.
Ended with the Capitals. Or the
Penguins.
Penguins. Forward.
Nope.
Defenseman.
Nope.
Goaltender.
It's not Patrick Hornquist.
He may or may
it's a
not be in
goaltender?
this room with us.
Oh.
Oh, we got a
Cowboy
one in-
may be a huge fan of his.
Oh gosh, why can't I not think of his name? Vokun. What's his first name? I can't think of his
Thomas
first name.
Vokun?
It is Thomas Vokun.
Is it
I almost
really?
I almost could just combine him and Chris Mason. in
Wait, did you
one
say
person.
the Preds?
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
Probably.
Did you say Florida Panthers too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I selective hearing. Sorry. I think
Hey.
it's going out.
It happens.
It's all right, Dory.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Thank you. Just keep swimming, folks.
So I guess the points don't really matter. You both had phone a friend used in that one, so you're down to 2 more lifelines.
There we go.
There you go. Christian, go ahead.
Alrighty, we've got a Pittsburgh Steeler, a Tennessee Titan, and then a Pittsburgh Steeler again.
Oh.
Not Johnny Smith because
No.
went to Miami.
It's not Bud Dupree.
Wow, that's a good one.
Oh, I know. It's Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Ah.
I was expecting when I pulled this page up to see like 4 more teams than I did. I was like, oh, only technically 2 teams and only 3 stints. That surprised me. But yep,
Loyal man.
indeed he is.
To the world of golf. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Born in Jupiter, Florida. Well, resides in Jupiter, Florida. Excuse me. Went to Florida State.
He's going to smoke me in this because I don't know any golf.
He went on the European Tour, the Challenge Tour, the PGA Tour, then to Live Golf, and now it's PGA Tour.
I know it. I want to see if he can get it.
Okay.
Is it Brooks Koepka?
It is.
Look at this guy. Yes, there it is.
Look at that.
Brooks Koepka.
See, all he had to do is use his context clues and think, all right,
I just
what
read the
golfer
news.
has been in the news recently? Brooks.
Yes.
There you go.
Let's go. Now all we need is Bryson DeChambeau to come to PGA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring Bryson back.
I think he will.
Have you checked on his Snapchat stories recently?
No, I don't really use that app anymore.
It's tremendous.
He's an adult. He doesn't use
Well, he-
kid apps.
Well, the only app I use is really like Twitter, Instagram.
that's fair.
And that's about it.
He did a photo shoot as like a cowboy on a train, and then there's a picture of him with a golf club just riding a bicycle.
Really?
I said, thank you, Bryson, for this tremendous content.
I do like YouTube golf though. That's stuff I like to watch.
Yeah,
That is
dude. The
great.
YouTube golf is very underrated if you love golf.
What is this golf that's like the Tiger Woods
Oh,
owned?
TGL.
Yeah.
It's just simulator golf with
It looks
pros.
dumb.
It's kind of cool. I mean, the
It's
concept is
alright.
cool. Yeah, it's not.
It's hard for me to
fantastic.
get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if nothing else is on, flip it on. A little background noise,
They make it interesting with the
Yeah.
hammer and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, having Tiger Woods actually on screen and talking to people, I'm cool
Yeah.
with that. I, mean,
I
he's a
like that they
legend.
keep him like mic'd up and everything too.
Yeah.
All right, here we go with round number 2. Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Detroit Pistons. Hold on, let me finish. Memphis Grizzlies, and retired with the Chicago Bulls.
Did this man just get his number retired?
I'm with that as well.
Number 1 maybe hanging in the United Center. Go for it.
Derrick Rose.
There you go.
That was a combined answer by us. We did it together.
I miss Derrick Rose. Oh, he made me so happy. When he was healthy. And then wow, breaking news from the NBA. Paul George has been suspended 25 games for using drugs.
Wow.
So don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do
surprise,
drugs.
surprise. It's funny. Wednesday night, they interviewed him on the NBC broadcast and said, yeah, my body feels pretty good after getting 1 day rest. And then
Well, we wonder why.
Oh, well, we see why
we
now.
know why. All right, Christian, go ahead.
All righty. To baseball. This
is
guy
always-
started his career with the Dodgers, then to the Cubs, and then to the Yankees.
This is Stoned Belly, Cody Bellinger.
You are correct.
Cody Bellinger.
Whenever you said stoned, I was like, what is he talking about? But I've never heard that nickname for him before.
Watch any interview of him ever.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's on
Or
LSD.
just look at this picture of him.
Yes.
Yeah, it checks out.
Indeed.
That's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay.
Sticking onto the diamond here. Seattle Mariner, Cincinnati Red, Chicago White Sox, then back to the Mariners.
It's not Ken, is it?
I think it is Ken Griffey. He never
Was he
played
a
for-
Red?
Was he? He was. I don't
He
know if
was
he.
a Red.
I don't think he was. He wasn't a White Sox though, was he?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with
Is
Ken
it Ken?
Griffey.
It is Ken Griffey Jr.
I didn't know he was a White Sox. Okay.
Yeah, he was on the Reds from 2000 to 2008, and then that 08 season he went to the White Sox.
Okay. Probably
All right.
traded him.
I will stick with the diamond here. So we just got a clean round of the diamond. How's that sound? This is St. Louis Cardinal, New York Yankee, Atlanta Brave, San Diego Padre. Or I'm sorry, Braves before Yankees, then Padres, then back to the Cardinals.
Back to the Cardinals.
Can you give the order one more time?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I screwed
Oh no,
that
you're
up.
good.
St. Louis Cardinals, Atlanta Braves, New York Yankees, San Diego Padres, back to the Cardinals.
went to the Yankees? The only one I can think of in recent memory was Goldschmidt, but he was with Arizona for a little bit
Yeah.
He won a World Series
He never played for the Braves.
with the Cardinals.
with the Cardinals.
Lance Berkman was not. He was with the Astros.
Technically did not play a game for the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
It was a rumored trade.
Like a three-way trade that he didn't play any time with. I should know this. He won a World Series in 2011, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm going
lost,
through the
not gonna
I'm going
lie.
through the starting lineup.
He is from Charles Barkley's least favorite town in America, Galveston, Texas.
Galveston, Texas. All right, so it is a Texas boy.
Oh, this is something new I've learned. There's a Major League Baseball player from Galveston, Texas.
Not
Where the dirty water washes up on the shore.
not John
That's a
Jay,
creek.
right? No,
No.
not John Jay, not Lance Berkman.
You're gonna kick yourself.
Alan
Is
Craig.
that your answer?
That's my answer. Alan Craig.
Good with me. I don't know.
You're gonna kick yourself.
No, don't say it.
Matt Carpenter.
Oh, he's a TCU Horned Frog. I should have. Oh my goodness.
See, I didn't know he played at TCU or was even from Texas at all.
Yeah.
See, I don't feel too bad about that one because, like, whenever I picture Matt Carpenter, all I picture is the Cardinals. Like, I obviously remember, yeah, he played for the Yankees for a little bit and everything, but the Braves sandwich in there is what really screwed me up, and where
Yeah.
I just couldn't go anywhere after that.
Yeah.
Especially after he said, "Yeah, he never played for the Braves." I had no idea. Then.
I used to love Matt Carpenter.
And I ordered a Matt Carpenter jersey, sent it to the wrong address. Went to some house in Chicago.
Do you know who my first Cardinals jersey?
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Some poor Cubs fan's gonna get a Matt.
and I looked up the house. It was for sale. So nobody actually got the package. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Some porch pirate got it.
You know who my first Cardinals jersey ever was?
Huh.
World Series hero, number 23. Yeah, David Freese. Who was terrible next year, but regardless. All
Still
right,
a legend.
I guess we'll just wrap it up with two more. Christian, go ahead.
We're sticking with the diamond.
Is this just going to be a clean baseball one?
Hey, you know what? Baseball's coming up. I think
Yeah,
we're
it is.
excited. All right. Starting with the Reds, the Mets, the Indians at the time, the Mets again, the Mariners, the Phillies, and the Yankees.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's a lot of teams there.
So Mets,
Reds,
Reds.
Mets, Indians, back to the Mets, Mariners, Phillies, Yankees.
currently with the Yankees.
No, not currently.
Retired player.
His last active year with the Yankees was 2021.
Oh,
Robinson Cano?
It's a good guess, not quite though.
I'll go with the
Dominican player.
No, he is from another Texas guy, Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont,
I was about to say Starling Marte, but no.
Beaumont, Texas.
Looks like he was drafted out of high school.
Okay.
Oh.
Played for the Mets twice.
Where's Willie when I need him?
I know. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to kick myself. I should probably know this.
I know it's not right because he played for the Dodgers, but I'll go with A.J. Pollock.
It's Jay Bruce.
I don't think I would have got that.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Yeah.
Good. That was a good one. Though.
I was like, I don't know. Like, I try to save like my deepest pools for the end, you know,
Yeah.
kind of try to work your way up. But
Okay. Here we go. Going to the football here. I'm not going to say the other way. Joe does not like when I say that. Going to football here, not soccer. Well, actually, no, I can't use this one. So never mind. I'm not going to use that one. Pause one moment. Talk amongst yourselves real quick.
who do you think's gonna win the Rumble today?
Did you watch my video?
I did. I was asking you for anybody who didn't get a chance to see your video. You know,
I think the tribal chief is taking it home today.
I would love to see that.
I think it's going to be him or Braun. Although I could see a world where Seth wins.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there, guys. I swear.
We'll never believe you
We'll never
ever
believe
again.
Anything he ever says ever. He'll say, you know, God forbid, he could tell us he has cancer and we wouldn't believe him. Like at this point.
God forbid that ever.
No, hopefully not. But
Here comes Gunther in Saudi Arabia. Do you think they're singing his song?
yes, they were. That was tremendous.
Oh, this is a replay.
this is yesterday's
This
thing.
is
yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Perfect. First, let's see. The NFL, New Orleans Saints, Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, and then
Oh, I know. Jimmy Graham.
Sounds great with me.
Yes, you're both right.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Brian.
Hooray!
Yay.
I have no idea who won, but that's okay.
We had fun. That's the most important thing.
Fun.
It was the real where are they now was the friends we made along the way. That'll do it for us here on the program on this beautiful Saturday morning. We got a lot coming up today. What is that face for? Is it breaking news?
No, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool uniform thing. I'll
Oh,
send it
okay.
to both of you.
We'll talk about it off the air. That'll do it for us today here on the Weekend Huddle. For Nick Frazier, Christian Skeleton. My name is Connor Newt. Enjoy your day today. Enjoy the Royal Rumble coming up at 1 p.m. if you're cool like me. If not, enjoy the Preds taking on the New York Islanders in Long Island pregame beginning at 5 p.m. with Adam Vingen right here on 102.5 The Game. For all of us, we say so long. We'll see you next week right here on 102.5 The Game.
See ya.